I would like now to introduce another familiar face and a well-motivated leader of our school, Dr. Bradford Goodwin, Professor and Executive Director of the Center for Laboratory Animal Medicine and Care. As you will know, Dr. Goodwin was very instrumental in moving all our animal models into 9 different buildings after Tropical Storm Allison. And he will now reunite under one roof and high in the building this precious asset of our research.
This is truly a momentous occasion for me and all those staff members of the Center for Laboratory Animal Medicine and Care that are clapping. So raise your hand. You can probably imagine nothing could have prepared us for this tragic devastation caused by Tropical Storm Allison. And we've been trying to return to normalcy for over 6 years. And very few of us got divorces. Most of us are still together. My big worry is when we're all in the same building again, will we live happily ever after? Anyway, today we have arrived, and this is certainly a day for celebration. But let me tell you just a little bit about what we went through. The recovery commenced with us trying to comprehend the reality of this event and the resulting emotional effect on all of us involved with the care and the health and the well-being of these research animal charges. Once the water was removed from the medical school basement, we had to go in there with these challenges of identifying and removing over 4,000 animals, salvaging documents and records as best we could, selecting equipment and caging for future use, and it went on and on. The cleanup of the facility during those lovely hot, humid days of June of 2001 were obviously formidable. However, the Clancy staff were able to handle this without mishap as our dear colleagues from Environmental Health and Safety stood there with them side by side, said, no, you can't do that because we want you to be safe. You know, wear that mask, you know, all the above. And then, you know, the investigative researchers are there too. So as a team, we got it going. So the dedication of Environmental Health and Safety, Clancy, the research personnel to stay this course was commendable to say the least, and my heartfelt thanks to all of you. Colleagues and friends from around the world offered overwhelming support to help us rebuild, which was greatly appreciated, while others tried to impede our recovery. For example, I received, and Dr. Wilson got a few of these hate letters from animal rights activists, and one of them really hurt. I'm a Yankee from Maine, and they call me a redneck. Anyway, so to expedite the physical recovery from this event and to provide research support to our investigators, we had to find space. These people are chomping down my neck. You know, what am I going to do? I got to get my research going. So Claire Brunson comes to the forefront, and she found laboratories in the med school, and we converted them into holding rooms, procedure rooms. We ended up with 24 of these, and you chairmen out there, we're going to give them back to you like next month, and you can use them again for when they're getting. And in addition, my good friend and colleague at MD Anderson Cancer Center, Dr. Ken Gray, was able to offer us animal housing, experimental surgery, support spaces, and we are still leasing that space as we speak. So with the efforts of these two absolutely wonderful people enabled us to get our investigators back to work, get them regrouped, get them restarted with their critically important research using animals. And I am personally very deeply indebted to Claire and Ken. Thank you. 2 $3 million grants from the National Center for Research Resources and the National Institutes of Health were awarded to assist in the rebuilding of this destroyed vivarium. And I just want to thank Dr. George Stansel because he is such a fabulous writer that they couldn't tell us no. And we got this $6 million with no match. So I mean, how can you do any better than that? Everybody was involved in this thing. I mean, it wasn't just me and George, it was all of us, so I just wanted to let you know. So those well-appreciated funds allowed us to begin planning, and then we got to do some replanning, and we got to do some programming and designing and redesigning. It went on for like 3 years. So after a few false starts, like where this place, we finally selected this site, and then we really started designing this new state-of-the-art facility that you're about to be able to tour. We worked with WHR architects, SST planners, E&C engineering, and many others, and it was a distinct pleasure for all of us. And my key team was Helen Zapata, Cynthia McGregor, Peggy Beck, and myself. I didn't want more people on the team because we'd have too many opinions, but when we wanted other opinions, we did ask. But we were the movers and shakers. So, as you do know, that one of the key factors in developing this facility was that the architects, the planners, and the engineers actually listened to us, the users, which is very, very unusual. So we love these guys because they would say, oh, okay. And then we get to building this thing with the leadership of the Vaughan people, this quality workmanship, and their willingness to make late changes to our, we don't like this, can you do it this way? Could you move this, could you move that? I mean, Cynthia practically drove them insane, but it was great. She gets credit. But anyway, they were wonderful. And then, of course, the fire in February of '07, that one floor, they got that done in record time, and it looked as good or better than it did before. And the last person, I guess we have to call him the cheerleader, last but not least, Tony Lintold, the project manager, kept us all sane and provided us optimism that this day would come. Tony. He has really kept us with our heads up. Anyway, the new vivarium, state-of-the-art in every respect. It's to be coveted by anybody in the world. The mechanical systems are placed in interstitial spaces above each vivarium floor, so mechanical folks can go in there anytime and fix it. There are modern experimental surgery suites, rodent barriers, computer-controlled access, computer-controlled lighting, heating, ventilation, air conditioning. And we have one-of-a-kind, specially designed large animal runs. Make sure you look at those, these are great. And we have a probably one-of-a-kind cage wash area. It has windows. Cage wash is always in the basement. So we have people fighting now to work in cage wash, which is a job that nobody usually wants to do. So I just thought I'd throw that in. Now, I'm going to invite you all to come tour our new home. And this new home is what Dr. Schultz has referred to as Goodwin's Taj Mahal. And I just want Dr. Schultz to know that we did build this grand facility within budget. Anyway, for me personally, designing and watching a dream come to fruition has been one of the most significant rewards of my very long career as a lab animal veterinarian. And I'm really happy to be here as we celebrate this moment. And my enormous thanks to everyone involved. You are the best. Thank you.